What? What the fuck was that? What the fuck have Infinity Ward done to Call of Duty? Hey guys, how's it going? This is From Dusk Till Sean here with my review of the multiplayer portion of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I played it for about 7 to 8 hours so far online, and it's very clear, and it was very clear early on, that something is really wrong with this game's multiplayer suite. You can go online and you can see forums full of people complaining about various issues, and in its current state I wouldn't quite call it broken, but it's very frustrating to play, and I'm just going to explain like what I don't like about it. I mean, some people are going to love it regardless, but this is my verdict, okay, right? I've played every Call of Duty game ever, and it's kind of like a fun tradition for me. The weekend they come out, I prestige, basically. I just keep playing until I hit prestige mode, as a lot of people do. It's great fun, okay? And this weekend, for Infinite Warfare, they even have a double XP weekend, which they often do, which is great, because, you know, it means you can prestige faster and whatnot. And yeah, as someone who plays them all, I'm an above average player. I'm not great, but I'm fairly good. My kill death ratio never drops below 1 ever, you know. Until I got to this game, and yeah, having played it for 7 hours, I mean, let's look at my kill death ratio just for the minute here I've been playing. Okay, I've died 3 times. Admittedly, I'm talking to you guys, so, you know, it's going to be a bit lower perhaps. But yeah, barely ever in any of the 7 hours of playing this has my kill death ratio risen above 1. And I don't think that's my fault. Now, I'm willing to admit I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 1 and a lot of Titanfall 2 recently, which are obviously very different games, and you know, you kind of have to retrain the way you play when you go back to something like this. But still, 7 hours I think is more than enough time for me to sort of be back into it, if you like. But what is causing the problem then? Well, the problem is something I don't know too much about, because I don't know like the technical ins and outs of these games, but lag compensation seems to be a big part of the problem. Again, I don't know the specifics, but from what I understand, it's a way to try and level the playing field in terms of connection quality. And so the problem that has is that it makes the time to kill seem really unbalanced and weird. Like, I'll go around a corner, see someone, and then I'll be dead in a few milliseconds before, basically, like that, just right there, before you have any time to react. And the reason is because on the other player's system, they have had much more time to see me, and so, you know, to them it looks like I was probably quite slow reacting. And this is really noticeable if you die really quickly. Look at the kill cam, because it will often be out of sync with what you've seen. And yeah, it's very frustrating when you think you should have the drop on someone, but yeah, I mean, that was fine, but so often you will just be dead before you can even draw your weapon, and that's not how these games should be, and it's not how COD normally is. And like that one there, okay, so I won that exchange, but I kind of feel bad about it, because it makes me think, on the other end, is he sort of a victim of it this time, you know? I didn't really earn it, because to him, maybe he only just showed up on my screen. I mean, there are other complaints as well, like the speed feels really sluggish to me this year. And again, I'm willing to accept that perhaps it's because I've been playing so much Titanfall 2, which is this incredibly slick, fast-paced game. But again, it just doesn't have that sense of pace that some of the earlier COD games anyway have. Also, you know, there are tons of nitpicks that I could throw at this game. I mean, I really don't like what they've done with grenades. They're so nerfed now that, I mean, they're pointless. That they cause so little damage, And I think I've killed maybe 2 people with grenades in 7 hours. So, what else is there to talk about? Well, there's one mode which I have kind of found to combat the time to kill issue, and that's the one I'm playing right now. It's called Frontline, and basically what it is, every time you die, you go straight back to the opening spawn for your team, so you have to go back all the way to the beginning every time you die. And that sounds kind of laborious, but it does kind of help in the sense that the enemy team is funneled the very same way most of the time, so you can kind of predict where enemies are going to come from a bit easier. And yeah, look at my kill-death ratio. It's 8 to 15, which is very bad, but that is still better than what I would get playing normally. And, you know, I've heard people already on message boards, on Reddit and stuff, saying, oh yeah, you know, it's the best mode, it saves the day. But the point is, we shouldn't be playing the game like this. You know, we're kind of relieved that there's a predictable way to take on enemies. And that's, like, is it really that fun? I'm not convinced it is. You know, it just makes it slightly less infuriating. And that's kind of the problem. It's like, I'm just not having fun with this game. It's so infuriating and frustrating to play. And, you know, after a point, you have to wonder, why waste time playing something that I'm just getting pissed off with? You know, I don't have to play it. I've done review. I've got my time out of it. I think, to be honest, I'm just really not feeling it. I think I may just sell it at the end of this weekend and go back to Battlefield 1, which I've been having much more fun with. Even like, you know, other things, the maps are okay, but the color scheme really just blurs together. It's kind of bland. Terminal is alright. That's it. Like, there's just nothing really blowing me away about it. I feel like if I just keep playing to Prestige, you know, I'm just doing it to like press the feeder button to give me the next pellet, and I'm playing into Activision's hands. It's exactly what they want. They want this like addiction aspect, which really isn't there with this game because it's so fucking poor and infuriating to play, which, you know, like I say, I've played every COD to Prestige before, and even the like average mediocre ones, even Ghosts, I still had fun. You know, I was drawn into the multiplayer and I enjoyed it. But this is just, you know, I can feel my blood pressure rising while I'm playing it because there are so many times where I'm like, that's bullshit, I shouldn't have died. And I've never had that in a COD game before. And I know people are always like debating the time to kill and lag compensation, but this is the first one where I've felt like it's really bad. Enough to make this video and enough to, you know, kind of retire early from the multiplayer rather than Prestige and then move on to another game. So that's basically it. I'm really not a fan of it. If this is a trend for future COD games, I think that would be a very unwise move. And though the games are still going to sell like hotcakes, it would be nice if they did learn from this, or maybe if the sales took a bit of a hit, so that, you know, something has to change. This is unacceptable to me, and as someone who didn't really like the Infinite Warfare campaign very much either, it kind of just like makes the deal even more sour. I'm already kind of down on this game, and this just cements it for me. The only thing that I think really worked in this game was zombies. That's the one part, and I'm not even a huge zombies fan, but I feel like that's the one part of the game where they nailed the tone, and like it was fun to play. I guess mainly because you're playing against computer zombies. You know, you have to worry about time to kill and stuff like that. And that's really it. I think I've said everything I want to say. It's very disappointing, and you know, they could very well patch the game and make it better, but I wonder how many of the issues are built into the core fabric of the game, and therefore, you know, it's going to be very difficult to fix. I'm certainly not going to stick around to see if they do, because, you know, this game launched. Normally, the multiplayer game versions of COD, they're pretty good out of the gate. You don't have too many issues. You know, there's so many games coming out. There's Watch Dogs 2 coming out soon, and Last Guardian, Final Fantasy 15. I've got better things to do with my time, as I think a lot of people do. So I think this is me probably retiring from this version of COD. Well, I'm level 23, not super far, but you know, I'm not going to put another 30 odd levels into this. It's just, life's too short for that if I'm not enjoying it, you know? There's no need. So, okay, that's my verdict. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter if you enjoyed it. And until next time, I'll be here from dusk till dawn.